Yeah, I'd like to take that bus, man. The one that rolls out at 5. I ain't got no bags. It's just me and my pride. I'm gonna get all settled in for a long, lonely ride. If I could just find my way back to San Antonio, if I could just find my...
There's something special about musicians who have watched the music industry evolve from vinyl records to streaming playlists. They played smoky clubs, long highways, and witnessed the rise and fall of trends while staying true to the craft. Welcome to QSJ Radio's MadLuh Digging Up the Ground. This is QSJ Radio's Traffic Light. We dig into the underground to uncover independent artists, creative voices, and the stories that shape the music you don't hear anywhere else. Today we're joined by an artist whose journey spans decades. From growing up, surrounded by music, and teaching guitar as a teenager, to touring through the late 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Our guest has experienced nearly every era of modern music business. He's seen physical record stores thrive, watched Napster change everything, adapted to streaming, and continues to write and release new music today. Known as to listeners as Tipsy McStagger, Gerald Coplien continues to prove that songwriting does not have an expiration date. Gerald, welcome to QSJ Radio's Digging Up the Underground.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey,
It's a beautiful day to talk about music.
It is. But I think that's like every day for me.
Me too.
So you grew up in a music store and started teaching guitar at just 13 years old.
Yeah, I remember when I got my first two students. It was I was making $5 back then was fantastic money. You know, that was Mercedes money.
Wow.
And it grew up. I mean, by the time I was 18, I was teaching 250 students a month.
Which is crazy. And when you look back and, there's got to be a moment where you realize like this wasn't just like a job or something. It was just like a hobby or when did it become your life?
I think music really kind of became my life when my father gave me a transistor radio when I was 4 years old.
Ooh.
And he took a pen and he marked 3 radio stations, WBBM out of Chicago. One of them was WLS out of Chicago, which was a huge radio station. And that's before FM,
Yeah.
And then they played everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You go under a bridge, the signal goes away.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's when I was just hooked on music. And being instruments laying around the house all the time, I just would grab anything. And every time I went to play an instrument, I always kind of just wrote my own song. I wasn't trying to play somebody else's song. I was creating something I could. And then as I grew up through the teens and started teaching more, I started up. I had a band and we started playing out. And it was around the age of 18. Well, so I just kind of knew since I was a teenager what I wanted to do.
So at 18, you're here at 18, and 18 then is way different than 18 now for people.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Oh my gosh. The way I got some 18-year-olds. Oh my god. Right.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank, right? So by
That's
age
right.
13, this talent agency decided to like take you upon them and start touring,
Well, yeah, actually, I'd like to correct that timeline a little bit. It wasn't until about the age of 20, 21
okay.
that, yeah. I played locally around here a lot. I was married to a lead singer, and we were playing 3-4 nights a week right around our little local area, and then this agency did pick us up from then on. So I said that in an interview previously, and I caught my error.
Oh,
As
okay.
years go
Yeah,
by and things
it's
get a
yeah,
little
yeah.
blurry,
I'm not
but
there
the
yet.
one
I think I remember everything.
that's right. But the thing about 18 back when I was 18, at least where I'm from here in Southern Wisconsin, was the drinking age was 18.
Oh my gosh.
So, there was a band in every bar and every corner.
That's what I was gonna
Uh,
ask. Like, what's that music scene like for a young guitarist on the road in the
oh,
70s? Oh
right.
my
Oh, it
god.
was a good, and I think I caught the tail end of a great era
Wow.
where live music was everywhere. Motels were having them. I mean, they were building motels specifically with
For
live music
yeah,
venues
yeah.
and things, and, uh that's what I grew up with, and, so with the drinking age being 18, then the places were just packed, and we had a great time, They changed it to 21, and all those bars, the live music bars kinda went to sports bars,
Well,
and that just
yeah. And that kinda
that was
slowed it down a little bit.
right, right, that was around 85, 86. And, that's when the motel circuit was still good, and I went out and did that for a while. Well, I did get divorced in '86, so that kinda changed what I did. I did a
Wow.
lot of, fill-in work too. I'd get a call and, you know, "Go play with these people, they need a guitar player tonight," or
Yeah.
something like
And then
so.
I caught that, like, your 80s, 90s type of thing. You were, like,
Mhm.
in numerous groups, numerous bands, venues, or, you still were working, but it was kinda
Right.
like a on-call situation, which is could be kinda depressing.
Yeah, you could go a week or 2 without, eating, and then all of a sudden, you're eating again. But, I did put together a band too for Hotel Motel, but bands come and go, for various reasons, people leave, and, so, I mean, I just kept myself working and busy, and then in the '90s, um, got married again, and, I kinda stayed homebound for that whole 10 years. I was playing in a local band, but that band kept busy too. But the time that I was doing that was really when I was starting to write music, you know?
Yeah.
The writing music bug kinda got me around 85, 86 when I started things started flowing for me.
I'm assume, right, that this is like a "I'm not a kid anymore" type of thing. There's a lot of things that I could talk about and
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
mature about it instead of like because you come from a time where love letters were really in on paper.
That's right. That's right.
You Right now, it's like they're talking about as nostalgic. I'm like, you have never lived that. Nostalgic is something that you live through that something brings you back, right? But
Yeah, I lived through the
yeah,
'80s, that was a moment, uh, with the Rubik's Cube and all the other
yeah,
things, the
everything
video games
started
and
coming
stuff
out.
like that,
Yeah, a
Right.
whole
Well,
like
MTV.
yeah, a whole nerd type of infestation, which was a good thing. You know,
Right,
uh,
right, right.
yeah.
But
Um,
MTV came out too, and that changed the industry.
I must have. So, if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking to Gerald Coplien from the Tipsy McStagger group band, excuse me. And they've been doing things for a very long time, and if you'll catch Gerald constantly bringing back the business part of this. You'll because this is where they probably got adapted to doing certain things in a certain way, and then they had to like do it again, like and do it again and do it again, and it was like getting tiring. Your album Tipsy in Memphis introduced listeners to like a different side of your songwriting. Like, what inspired that record, and why was Memphis the perfect backdrop for it?
Oh, that's a couple good questions. I'll start with the songs. It's a compilation of songs that I had written up to that moment. Um, Jimmy being the oldest song, I believe I wrote that in 1987, if I recall. And then, as time went on, I just kept writing these
I
songs,
promise you, Gerald, I was around. Okay,
okay, that's good.
I was around. So this is. You know what I mean? Water did
Right.
me some justice. Okay.
That's good. That's good. But, um, so, I had this compilation of songs. I finally somebody wanted me to go record them, and, I originally picked Memphis was looking for studios, and I'm looking at New York, and there's some great studios in New York, but I didn't really wanna have a New York sound.
Mm,
I'm looking at LA, Los Angeles, I'm looking at Sound City when they were still open and things like that, but I just didn't want that sound. I can't explain it. There's a sound that comes out of, Southern Tracks out of Georgia was a, studio we were looking pretty hard at. Um, Unfortunately, they're not around anymore, but, some great groups that recorded there and some good sounds. REM, that was kinda one of their home
mm.
studios there, and, but I didn't wanna sound like REM. So I went to Memphis, and I checked out that studio, and I felt that was a great fit for us. It a lot of wonderful history there. I like to tell a story that I had my picture taken between the platinum records of, Convoy and, Disco Duck.
Wow.
That's just to show you some of the history that's come through there, but,
Wow.
they say it's a studio that ZZ Top built. But, I noticed it was just a great sounding studio, and very intimidating too. Being a young guy going into this studio with this history, I'm standing in the spot where Jimmy Page once stood, I'm like,
Mm.
"Why am I here?" And, but the console, they used a Nevy console, beautiful, beautiful console, and that's what's intimidating because that thing doesn't lie. What you put into that recorder comes back out. You're going, "Man, I really suck today." You gotta you gotta pull your game up, you know what I mean? So, but that was an experience. That was a wonderful experience, and that album did well for us too as we come out. Jody Stevens, he operates the studio. He was with the Box Tops and Big Star. He was a drummer for him, and, he said something to me one time when we were wrapping up, leaving the studio, and he goes, the majors are gonna come calling for you, but you're gonna have to sell 500,000 copies just to break even.
Wow. Is it
But what you got
is that
now is
wow.
all. Let's go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
That's uh,
'Cause I'm
but
thinking
what
this is
you
one of those perspectives of, go ahead, go ahead.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and as I'm sitting here holding this album, he goes, "You're gonna sell 500,000 copies to break even, or whatever you have right now is yours. That's the decision you're gonna make." And I did entertain some, offers from, some, good major record labels, but I went on to do it, independently, which worked out for the best in the long run, if you ask me. Uh,
Yeah.
except you talked about the Napster thing earlier,
Yeah,
and wow.
I was about to bring that up, like, no lie. Like, I'm looking at the sequence. I was like, I did some studying, Gerald. I did
Uh-huh.
some studying, okay? One of one of the stories that stood out to us here and was your experience watching Napster change the music industry overnight. It wasn't
Yeah.
something, you know, guys like us that were in the house, we were downloading everybody's stuff.
Uh-huh.
We were the guys. But for those who were trying to get the music out there, finally got it correct, finally got it right, and then all of a sudden the MP3 becomes one of the most pirated files online, and these
Yeah.
guys are just like killing it. From the perspective of a working musician, what did that transition actually feel like?
Well, it wasn't, and I'm not sure, uh, conflicting. I just remember, we would play and we'd go to merch booth and we would sell T-shirts and CDs and stuff like that, and one day, it was around late 2007, a guy comes up, he buys a T-shirt and a CD, and "You want a CD?" And he goes, "No, I already got it off Napster." And I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, huh,
what?
yeah,
That's
yeah."
when you
And that
found out that your stuff is
well
on there? I mean,
well, exactly, and that's when it also people quit buying CDs. It
yeah.
just trickled way down. It was, from doing good numbers every week to, "Wow, what happened here?" The bottom fell out. And a lot of, musicians that I know of, we all went through that era and said, "What are we gonna do now?" They're just giving it away.
Yeah,
And between
basically.
that, LimeWire and Napster, and uh, you tried coding it, that didn't work. I know a lot of groups
Yeah,
tried
like
that.
there was like this thing where people were like I guess the term is like gaslighting that the kids use these days, but like
Yeah.
they were lying to everyone and saying, "Yeah, get a barcode, like get this, get that, get whatever." But then it's like they can manipulate that and they can
Oh, sure.
still not get in trouble, but your stuff is getting everywhere, which is almost like it's like people are getting your music, but you're not getting like you,
That's
you,
when I realized that there's no money in the selling of the recording anymore. You have to use the recording to get the people to the shows.
mm,
So
go away.
it's a that was a saddening fact to come to terms with. Why, I used to sell 45s and things like cassettes, and now the CD was going great, and all of a sudden nothing, and it still isn't. It hasn't come back. Streaming is it's not even close.
It's for the type of genre things that you're doing and your fan base. It is hard to see if streaming is ever going to work, and I totally understand that. Because you've experienced the vinyl, you experienced the classic cassette tapes. I know I probably got one somewhere. I don't know. Um, CDs, downloads, streaming services, which is something like it's almost like it seems like it's almost more expensive than printing out your own CDs because
Well,
because it's
the
like
you
whatever.
can't
Yeah, go ahead.
you can't recoup. You just can't recoup from the cost, especially the cost of CDs. They're outrageous. I mean, to get them done, and a lot of people are doing them though, like they'll 2, 3 songs just for autographs. I was going to show you something here
Yeah,
while
yeah,
I know we're only doing audio, I'm assuming,
yeah,
but
yeah. No, no, we're videoing. Okay, that's a record.
that's the vinyl of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. There's a company called Elastic Stage that now will do one-offs. You can just, instead of you can.
Instead
I'm
of printing
trying
them
to find the
out
right.
and having them, they'll just
Right. Just
so
direct your customer to there,
yeah.
and they'll
Okay,
print them
that's
out,
dope.
send them, ship it right to them. And that's been a blessing for us. A good source of revenue. Um, it's a little pricier, obviously. By the time they ship it to the United States, it's about $44 or $45.
Oh my god.
But it is vinyl, and it does sound great. I was really surprised. But um,
You
yeah,
know
that's where we're at in this
that
era now.
the
You have to
before
find.
we move forward on that because you've seen a lot of these things changing. Vinyl, cassette tape, CDs, download, streaming services. What era you think was probably the most rewarding for independent artists, and which has been the most challenging?
Hmm, well, when it comes as to product, I think, well, cassette was good. It still gave the customer something physical to hold, and you could still do it in a in a cost effective manner. Vinyl is expensive, CDs are expensive. Cassette tape was pretty inexpensive, but it did have the quality issues of it.
Yeah.
Cassette
The
tape
the
was
the
tape.
first the first Zoom calls were if that stuff messed up, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
That's right. That's right. It's done.
I've
Taking a
never
pencil trying
cared
to
for
put together.
something so much like as a tape. Like, oh my
That's
god,
right.
where's the cassette holder? Where's oh my god. Anyways, we'll
Yeah,
take a little
that's
break
cool.
real quick. I want to
Sure.
introduce one of the songs here, "Cry." Can you
Oh, okay.
let us know what was the songwriting backstory of this song, "Cry"?
Well, it started out as a lullaby to my youngest son, who was born a cantankerous soul. and he just never was happy, right? You know what I mean? And he's in a little kid swing,
I'm gonna blame
and
it on spicy food while mom was
I'm
pregnant.
going to. I love the boy. I love him to death, But so he'd be in his little infant swing, and I'd just be singing this lullaby to him. Yeah, you cry, I don't mind. You can cry, honey, cry. And then when it became a song, it just became uh, a devastating love song. That's the word I turned it.
Wow.
You know.
Now, is this going off of Tipsy McStagger or is it Gerald Coplien? Cry.
Well, this is a Tipsy in Memphis album. This is a Tipsy
Okay.
McStagger band. Yeah.
Tipsy McStagger, Cry on QSJRadio.com.
Yeah, buddy.
When I was thinking about it yesterday, won't it make me what you have to say? And I think it's just your little way of making me hurt. Now you're going pain and you can cry, well I don't mind. Oh, you can cry, honey, cry, 'cause that's just fine. Well, you can cry.
I recently just played San Antonio, which is
Okay.
super like I got what you was doing there. And I want to get
Three
to
chords of truth.
yeah. These releases, Cry, and I think I also heard Only Bad on the Weekends.
Oh, that's just an instrumental. Yeah, okay.
They show that you're like still creating new music decades into your career. They just show that, you would think that if for those who was listening, first of all, they probably thought like, oh, we have like one of those open mic type of open speak. I forgot what the genre is called, and then you go right into the chorus, right? Which is like I was rhyming the whole time. Like it was like, like what are we doing? Has your songwriting like process changed with age, or are you still chasing songs the same way you always have?
The same way as I always have. I can never force myself to write a song. I'll get little tidbits here and there and this and that. And all of a sudden, boom, a song just comes out of nowhere. And you're talking about that song San Antonio. That's a completely different style for me. I was trying to write something that was retro country that I grew up listening to. Those old smoky barroom jukeboxes, And as I mentioned it, I wanted to write 3 chords and the truth. And a
Mm,
simple song is the hardest thing to write. But
wow.
this one just happened. It was so easy. The whole process, I was playing with the melody for about a week, and then it was Christmas night. I come home from family Christmas, and all of a sudden the lyrics came to me. I scribbled them down, you know what I mean? Then I put them in order and got the song right. Laid a click track, played the song, sang it, and then had a buddy over in England, Andrew Greenaway, who plays drums, and he mailed in the tracks to it. And once I got the drum track and the steel guitar track, it just laid out so simple. Then I had my daughter sing on
Look,
it.
I'm thinking, look, song creation, has changed, and it seems like you've like adapted to that because remember, someone in London or someone in Britain doing a track, somebody had to visit somebody, but now it's like an email
Right.
away. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
it's great. It's
It's
great.
got
I
to be
love
lovely. Now you was
this.
mentioning your daughter. Is she in San Antonio? Is it?
Yeah, she sang the background vocals on
Okay,
that,
okay.
and we did a couple tracks of that, and she sounded great. She sounded like angels. She toured with me in the 2000s.
Oh
Uh, she was
wow.
she was Whiskey Annie. Her name's
We got a
Tipsy
family
McStagger.
business going on. Let's
That's
go.
right. She she brought the house down. I'll tell you, man, what a voice! I didn't realize it until she had turned 21 and wasn't doing anything in life. Besides, I said, "Well, come on out on the road. I'll throw you some cheeseburgers. We'll keep you alive." You know what I
Nice,
mean?
nice.
And she come down to the rehearsal hall, and we learned a song that she wanted to do. As a Susan Tedeschi song. I can't remember the title of it, but it was a pretty tall challenge. The song was, and so we learned it up and got in rehearsal and we played it and she sang it. We got done with the song and I looked back at the drummer and he took his sticks and put them down on the floor, Tom, and he looked at me and goes, "Where did that come from?"
Wow.
And I said, I had no idea that was in my backyard.
Wow.
I had no idea she was as good as she was. So I'm hoping to, do a release with her real soon here. But yeah,
Yo, shout
she's
out to the
finicky.
kid. What?
Yes, right, yeah. So she, that backup vocal really made the song for me. That's what made it come together. Just so retro country, and it's a song, you put it out there. That's where I'm at right now. I mean, I have a backlog of songs to record. I've got another one getting ready to be done. It's a rock tune, but more of a rockabilly rock tune. It's pretty interesting. And after that, I do have a cover song coming up that is in the wings. It's still waiting to get polished. And of course, there's still stuff after that.
I can only imagine.
Yes. I just hope I don't run out of time.
Gerald, this weekend was Father's Day, and
Yep.
happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
I'm a dad myself, but my kids are running away. They're running away. I have no idea what the hell happens when they try to come back. I don't know, but you also have upgraded the to the grandfather level, and many times. How has that kind of like? If you look at everything that you've gone through, because we were talking about an early divorce when you were young, and now it's like you have a lot of legacy.
Right.
That's here on earth. How's life, bro?
That's great. The grandchildren you can live vicariously through them. I bought my oldest grandson a go-kart. I just love watching him ride it, like I would, what I mean? You go, buddy. Yeah. And my youngest daughter's expecting another one. So I got to do a head count quick here.
Yeah. Felt that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5. Maybe 6. I don't know. Keep them coming,
That's dope.
So
That's dope.
yeah, they change your life. They do, like I said, and then you can give them back when you're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the rent-a-kid.
That's right.
I want to rent a kid so bad, but anyways, I don't know.
I'll rent a couple to you.
No, I'm good. So, shout out to everybody listening. If you guys are just tuning in, via the live or even here on the podcast, Tipsy McStagger's own Gerald Coplien talking to us about a little bit of history. We kind of focus more on the impact of how an artist was supposed to kind of sell themselves to the customer for a long time, and that kind of got carried away. I need to know, you've seen all these things happen. You've seen the physicals change in its technology. Then it got online. What do you think is next?
Wow. I don't know. With music, as an artist trying to make a living, where it's at right now is in sync licensing. Getting into a Netflix movie or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where the bread and butter is. The streams are what they are. But it's all the sync licensing. What song? I just had the song Jimmy got paired up with the song.
Wow.
Or a movie or something.
Yeah.
I don't recall when. Right. That song's back on broadcast cues again too. It's being played on the radio. I'm shocked. I don't know why that one, but I'm happy that is played. But 22 years later, why is this back on the radio?
It's a possibility that has gone viral and you haven't caught on to it.
Yeah.
Like somebody's using it on videos and it's like, okay, let's put that back on.
Yeah, it could be,
And we don't know. Because
that's right. You don't know that stuff until you could go on for 10 years before you even know.
That's it.
It's like sometimes
Yeah.
I'll see on Spotify, and bam, one of my songs is just getting played bang like crazy. And that's because it gets on somebody's playlist and they're playing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it shows up all over many different countries, and Apple does that too. I can see it, those reports, which are nice to see. That's the one thing about the digital age is you do have data.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Right.
You can see it. Analytics, as they call it, right?
Right.
So, seen a lot of things. We've known that a lot of records out there, lovely songs, well put together. That comes with a lot of time. You've been teaching since a teenager how to play the guitar, and we covered all that. But now I want to talk about something that you kind of like bypassed real quick, but not
Sure.
intentionally. I know you didn't, but there was a lot of opportunities handed to you, and are there any ones that you didn't take that in your head is a decision you still think about? I mean,
Yeah, there's one or two that got away. I had a I was hired to play with Bob Seger in '97. No more than I was hired. He quit touring for 10 years. I think he had some family issues or something like
Yeah.
that. And that was a heartbreaker. That one was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know what I mean?
Wow.
Even the agent that got us the job, he was looking forward to the commission too. He's like, he couldn't believe it
Yeah, for
happened.
wow.
You know, but that's life. That comes and goes. I do tell a story. I owned a beautiful black '69 Gibson Les Paul, which was probably on my shoulder for 35 years. Loved the guitar, absolutely loved it. And then I quit playing out live. I have some health issues. One of them was my hand doesn't do what my hand's supposed to do. I can play, don't get me wrong, but I can't play like I did 20 years ago. And
Okay.
so the guitar was laying around, and I decided to sell it because it's the kind of guitar that should be on a big stage with bright lights. It
Wow.
deserves
Kind of like
that.
a letting go type of thing.
It's a fine instrument that does not deserve to be under anybody's bed. And but I wanted to make sure that I got to somebody that Well, on the blue, Bob Seger's guitar player called me, and he bought the guitar.
Wow.
So the bottom line of the story is I didn't get to play in the band, but my guitar did.
So you were there, but you weren't there? Like, what?
That's right. Yes. Part of me was there, but
You mentioned,
but I mean, I kind of,
you were mentioning like, you had something for 35 years, let it go. Was that retiring from touring? Was that?
Yeah. I the last time I played that guitar live, I believe, was 2014.
Wow.
And then it sat around, and that's not good for an instrument to sit around, especially if. And my father was I always say he was the Eddie Van Halen on the accordion, fantastic musician. But when he quit playing
accordion, right?
Yeah, the accordion, yes.
What?
Put that thing, hook that thing to a Marshall stack and watch out. Jeez. He was a great player, and he'd also translated to piano, and he had improv chops all day long. And anyways, I saw what happened to his beautiful accordion just laying around. The bellows all stuck. They cracked. They broke open.
So
it was not worth anything.
Yeah.
I did not want that to happen to this guitar.
Yeah. There's too much history just to let it disintegrate or something.
Right. And right now it's out. And the guitar's out on tour with Grand Funk Railroad.
You know what's crazy is like it's like you have like one of those trackers on it or something. Yes. He's like, let me go check up on my guitar. Where's it at? Yeah. It's still in the same area for too long. Let me go check on
That's
it.
Right.
Like,
I haven't let it go yet.
That is hilarious. If you guys are just tuning in, Tipsy McStagger, the band member, Gerald Coplien is with us. We're talking about so much stuff. When people hear the name Tipsy McStagger, they probably smile before they ever hear a note. What's the story behind Tipsy McStagger? Because the play on words have me messed up too.
Well, the bass player, Dave Potter, he was one of my best friends. Rest his soul, he passed away. He came up with the name. We had been kind of buddies all through high school, hell, elementary school. We had our first band called the Screaming Eagles, and we were terrible, absolute terrible.
Sang for the Screaming Eagles. No, what?
We were 12 years old, just bashing on this stuff. We don't
Yeah.
know what you know. But all through life, we played on and off together, and we were just musical buddies. And we were putting this project together, and he came up with that name. I wanted to call it Mr. Grumpy. That
Mr.
was the name I
Oh my
wanted.
God, your creative process did not start. Oh my
But the drummer
Mr.
outvoted me.
Grumpy.
Yeah. The drummer Russell outvoted us, and it became Tipsy McStagger. And
Okay.
so as we were playing, and people kept coming up calling me Tipsy. As the guitar player,
Wow.
singer, and
Yeah.
so I just ended up being Tipsy, and
Wow.
that's the story of that.
That's nice. Yo, shout out to your alias, Tipsy. Wow.
Right. I just wanted to be Gerald Coplien. No, you're
You know
gonna
what I
be.
mean? Hey, Tipsy, how you doing, bro? You doing good?
That's right. I wear it well. I lived up to the name too,
Oh, yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah. So
for
it
a
means
while.
what it means, right? Okay, cheers to
It did.
that.
It did. Yeah. Now I'm a good boy. I drink my milk every day. Yes, those
Oh,
those 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 days are over, man. I tell you, we were down there at the studio in Arden, being the Southern Wisconsin boys. We grew up in the land of cheese and beer,
yeah.
and I don't think that studio ever seen so much beer flow through it. It's just like more beer, more beer.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, the wives were impressed. I'll tell you that.
The music industry, they often celebrate overnight success, but your career represents decades of persistence. What has longevity taught you that success is that the success of overnight success never could?
Well, there's no such thing as overnight success. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, something pops, and there you are. And I've had a couple good things in life, that even though you're an under radar artist, you're not on the charts. There are moments it goes up and down. It's
Yeah.
feast and famine.
Yeah.
I forgot the second half of the question, though.
Yeah. So, what has that taught you that overnight success can't? Like, what has longevity of your persistence of your music taught you that overnight can't or never could?
Well, I do it because it's a passion. It's who I am. Why did Van Gogh paint? He had to, and that's what I do. This is what I have to do. I couldn't imagine not doing what I do. There's no way to stop it. There's no way to turn it off. I don't know if it's a sickness or an illness, but it's what I do. I play music and I write music, and one of these days, something's gonna go. Like this. I had this ballad out right now. That's getting released by two other artists also.
Wow.
And I did do a song called "Sit Here and Drink," which I had another artist out of Central Wisconsin, all places. Doug Craning is his name. He did a version of it. Man, he took it from 0 to 60 really well. And that's a shout out to Doug. He's so that's my goal right now. It's not so much about going out and playing as writing songs and getting artists to do them. I'll produce them up and get them out there, especially the way you can record nowadays. It's fantastic.
It's ridiculous, actually. Ridiculous.
Right. You could just mail it in, you don't have to leave your house.
Nothing.
Which scares me. I wonder what happened. How this is going to affect the larger studios, down the line.
Well, you know what happened to the theater, so it's only
yeah,
a
well, the
matter of
theaters are
time.
hanging in there. I know.
A matter of time.
Yeah. Well, nothing stays as planned. The world does not revolve around one man.
You shared stages, and you've met remarkable musicians through this time, and you've watched generations come and go. Who are the unsung heroes that that influenced you but never received recognition that they deserved?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I got to go way back to my youth. One of them, his name was Ron Van Horn. He worked with it was called Sugar Hill Records, but it's not the one that you're thinking of. There was
Okay.
a Sugar Hill Records in the 70s also that did some songs. He was very instrumental to what I did. Um, he took a couple tracks of mine when I was young and got them to artists that did things to him, um, which things I don't talk about much before because you don't like to get into it because when you say it, then people go, "Well, is that really a true story or not?" There's no way to even uh, confirm it.
Listen.
You know,
I get it. I think people understand like just because the tabloids didn't catch it, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Like
right,
it happened, bro. When we was
right,
there, like
right.
I'll tell you a story, right? It might be unbelievable, right? So I've been
Uh-huh.
in the Navy, right? I was in the Navy for
Oh yeah,
21 and a half years, right? And
thank you.
you're welcome. And I was real deep into this, right? And I was obsessed with getting this interview with this one artist, right? And my obsession got me to go into studios, right? I'm like the media
Okay.
guy. They were like, yeah, like get him in here. Like watch him
Uh-huh.
do a
Sure.
bunch of stuff, right? Had a camera with me, everything. Boom. The next thing you know, I see where these finances for this artist is coming from. And it's coming from selling crack, right? And
Sorry.
I'm like in the Navy, I'm in my suit. I'm like, I am not supposed to be here. And then
That's right.
and they're like, hold on, give me 1 second, right? And their manager goes into a closet and he's like, they got like a mouse hole and they're exchanging like whatever it is they're doing there. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? What was that?
Yeah.
And I've realized that the door also had like a 2x4 metal something like it prevent the cops from coming in. And
From
I'm
busting
like,
in. Yeah.
bro, I need to go, right? And they were
That's
like,
right.
wait, hold on. I gotta like we gotta put you onto these new songs. And I'm like, okay, and I'm like
Uh-huh.
nervous. I'm not even listening anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like, so what do you think? You get us on our station? Yeah, whatever you want, bro. I just need
Sure,
to
sure.
go. I just
Just let me out of the
I
door.
just gotta go. My career
Yeah.
is on the line. The one that's actually making me money, right? So I'm like, I
Right.
gotta go.
That's
And
funny.
they were like, man, I love it, blah, blah. I never really told them anything. And of course, they really didn't think that they were going to put me in a bad situation. But I always thought that that was especially when it comes from like the hip hop culture, that was not real. That was like a fabricated kind of thing. And I realized like, oh, this is real. This is like really chaotic when it came to this specific artist and their group. So I was like, oh my gosh. So no, when I sit there and I tell them like, listen, I just finished coming from a high school, handing out
Uh-huh.
pamphlets saying, do you want to join the Navy? To the next thing you know, I'm reviewing somebody's album while somebody's selling crack. And then they're like, this no, so you see what I'm saying? Like no
Sure,
one's
sure.
going to believe that
Yep.
these random things happen during the music journey, because sometimes it does seem like there's no way that happened. There's no way you
Right,
met that
right.
person. There's no way you like, you know, it happens. Now I get it.
That's right.
You don't want to bring it up. It's cool, but I know
Mm.
because I've experienced myself this like squared away like life that kind of almost took a turn because I was
Mhm.
at the wrong place.
Right, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. I found myself in some, I don't wanna say I'm compromising situations, but places I really don't wanna be at the moment, you know? And, you get out with the skin of your teeth, you
Yeah.
know? It's all you can do. But, yeah, another one of a person that was, real instrumental in my life was a duo, they were called, Ray and Connie Oles. They are a married duo,
Okay.
and they lived in my hometown. They're originally from They toured all over with their children. I think they had 5 children in an Airstream camper.
Wow.
And then they settled in Monroe because they got a house gig at this restaurant,
Okay.
nightclub, and he taught lessons. And those two were very instrumental. And even in life, they would always get me up to play and stuff like that. And he passed away, unfortunately. But that's one of the learning things. That's where I learned how to play in a band, how to make a band operate. I was watching these two and growing up, learning with them at the same time. They taught me, they showed me how to do it.
That's a big deal right there, because people would just throw bands together and then there's no cohesion. You got to make it up at a time. People blaming other people. I've seen some of my favorite bands just try to keep going without their element people, which is ridiculous at times. But then, you realize like maybe those guys weren't cut out for the long run, and things like that. But man,
Sure. Well, where I grew up in is when you go out to play, you had to play a variety of music. You just couldn't be a rock band or a the best was the variety. We would start out with Good Hearted Woman, and we would end up with Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
And that's how our night progressed, And
you're the reason people got drunk. It's okay. I get it.
So that was my job.
You're the reason.
I sold a lot of beer.
Yeah. Oh my. Wow. Amazing.
So-
If you guys are just tuning in, we got the Tipsy. He's here with us talking about earlier. You were playing something in our break. I want to take the break again.
Okay.
I want to take a break. I want to introduce people to Forever. But would you mind if you play us the song you was talking about? Like you play us a little bit when we come back from the break?
Oh, to mean that Chicago song?
Yeah.
I could try.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see what happens. But I want to talk about the song Forever.
No, I don't have a song called Forever.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Oh, my bad. It's called Please Stay.
Thank you.
We should come out with a song called Forever. But
Yeah, I'll work on it.
okay, Please Stay, a super, super awesome song. Like, what's going on in Please Stay?
I had never wrote a ballad in my life, a love ballad, but I didn't set out to do that. It's just started by playing with chords. Matter of fact, I have my guitar here, so I just kind of an example. A lot of people will write a song in the key of C, and they'll go like C, A minor, F. It's a common, 1,000 songs. Just Stand By Me.
Yeah, shout out to the folk stories.
So off that chord pattern.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I had changed up. So I played an A6 and I went. And it just changed the whole dynamic of the song. And then there again, that was one of those songs that just flowed. I was laid up at the time when I wrote that with an interesting injury. And I asked a friend to come over quickly with a pen. I gave him a pen and notebook, and I just started spewing out the lyrics as I wrote the song. So it was basically written in a half hour, and then it was refined from that point on. But to me, that's a good song when they come out fast like that. You don't have to work.
Yeah, like you don't have to work on it; it's already done.
That's right. Exactly.
The feeling is there. Let's not overdo it.
Right.
This one is Please Stay. It's streaming all these songs are streaming, guys. You guys can get them on all major platforms. This is Please Stay from Tipsy McStagger on QSJ Radio.
All right. Again, on this autumn night, I can't help but feel this is just so right. There's some words that I have to say, if you don't mind. I'm thinking
every day. And now is the time. Please won't you stay? Please won't you stay? Like in my heart away.
Wow, there it is. You know, to the world. So at least you get to be a quick moment of being in the big song, the big circle of songs.
Big shout out to everybody listening. If you guys just tuning in and wondering what Tipsy's talking about, behind the scenes, we were talking about the shock that seems to happen when you find that your song is playing on the radio. And, you know, I just don't want to get it confused with people that, you know, all of a sudden, you know, they know their song is going to get played. I always believe that that's kind of a setup versus, you know, you're traveling, going towards a different town. There was something that happened while you was on stage. You said you was playing Cry, and then you saw these people talking about the band saying,
yeah, these two girls, and I can see the one tell the other girl, see, this is the band that does that song. And but when I was talking about Cry, I had passed through Kearney about a month prior to that, and we caught the song on the radio, which was an absolute shocking surprise. Like I said, it just came on randomly. Didn't have no idea. You know, we couldn't turn the radio up loud enough.
I got a few
Yeah.
for you, Gerald, before you go. Okay, because I know we had a time, but
I got breakfast coming, man.
the
I want my Denver omelet.
oh man, that sounds dope. Oh man,
It's gonna be good.
I don't even remember. I think I had a cereal. Oh my god, it was one of those
Yeah, it was cereal.
cereal. I think I had.
Cheerios with no sugar.
Yeah.
Bland.
So
Just go out and just eat some tree bark.
if you could sit down with the 20-year-old self before leaving on the first tour, what advice would you give him?
Be careful. There's a lot of time for me was wasted with I had musicians that shouldn't have been where they were, or places I shouldn't have been, some bands I shouldn't have been in, things like that. That's probably the only thing I could say. Just keep going at it and play and play and play. And you know, people get mad if you play. We would go in on Mondays and Tuesdays. That was our cheap night. If we were traveling down the road and we had a Monday and Tuesday off, here, let's go play at this bar, see if we can get $200, $300 and a couple sandwiches and some beer out of them, which we always did. You know, Wednesdays and Thursdays, those are medium dollar nights, and the weekends were the best, you know? So just keep playing. That's all you can do. And it's a musician's life, you know? You play. That's what it's that simple. If you're not playing, you're not playing, you know? You're nothing. You're only as good as what you just did.
You know, you got different eras of not only what the business was, but what your sound has become. People listening to you now, what song should they know, or would you introduce them to starting to listen to you?
I guess I would just have listened to the Tipsy and Memphis album, probably the first cut, Jimmy. It's a great groove. I mean, I've always loved what the bass player did. I think I said in a previous interview, it's such a simple part, but sometimes the simplest stuff is the toughest, to just get that feel and that groove and that continuous drive and not let up. You know, that's what made Dave a great bass player. That'd probably be the song I would say. This is gonna kind of tell you what our sound is. We are a Midwestern regional sound. There's a little bit of country, there's a little bit of rock, a little bit of everything.
And a lot of cheese.
Beer and cheese. That's right.
A lot of cheese, guys.
It's beer cheese soup, man.
I got one more for you.
Sure.
And I didn't want it to be like this. I knew doing some research on you, and you know, this this whole bunch of love that you have around you as a family guy, and
Uh-huh.
still being able to do this is amazing. Because we're based off of like independent artists and what they should do better for themselves. For the independent artists listening tonight who are frustrated by the algorithms, playlists, social media numbers, what keeps you writing after all these years?
Again, it's just a passion. It is what I do. I wouldn't, even if I didn't have a guitar in my hand, my brain is continuously doing that. There's a music, there's a melody, there's something constantly going through it. And I wouldn't know what else to do with myself. Some people are great at taking cars apart, putting them together. I'm not one of those people. I like playing guitar and writing songs. And persistence. Don't give up, because you never know what's around the corner. I always like to say Louis Armstrong. He holds the record for the oldest person to have a #1 single.
Mm.
So he was 64 years old when that happened, and just when he wrote, "What a Wonderful World." So don't give up.
Yeah.
And if you're young, just keep going at it, learn what you can.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Is it the passion does not have charts.
Exactly.
You know?
And there's, luck is practice paying off. Practice, as luck is preparation and opportunity coming together.
Mm.
You were prepared for the opportunity. So you might write a song and it might not be nothing today or tomorrow, but you know what? 4 or 5 years down the road, boom, there it is. So yeah.
Tipsy.
And that's the way to, yes.
Tipsy.
Words of wisdom.
Tipsy. Gerald, thank you so much for sitting with us.
Thank you
so much. Thank you. I hope you get that breakfast in.
It's coming. You're a wonderful host too, by the way.
Oh,
thank you.
Thanks so much. And thank you for sharing your story. This music is incredible.
Thank you.
And that family, though, man, bless you. Because
yeah,
that is amazing. That is amazing.
It's the best thing in the world. I wanted to have 12 kids. I had to settle for 5.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right.
That's whatever.
After you have 2, it doesn't matter anymore.
I mean? Like, I'm not even going to tell you my number, but I'm telling you, I got a headache. Okay. I got a headache.
Hey, thank you, Dave. You were wonderful, man.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy.
Tonight we traveled through nearly 5 decades of music with an artist who has experienced every chapter of an industry consistently reinventing itself. From learning guitar as a child to teaching as a child, touring as an early adult, recording in the later years, and continuing to release music in today's streaming world. Tipsy McStagger reminds us of the great songs aren't measured by trends. They're measured by the stories they leave behind. Whether we talked about life on the road, the Napster revolution, songwriting, missed opportunities, or finding inspiration after retirement, one thing became clear. The passion for creating never really retires. Thank you, Tipsy McStagger, for joining us. This is QSJ Radio. We digged into the underground to uncover independent artists creating voices and the stories that shape the music you don't hear anywhere else.